Now go out there and save the world.
Yeah, let's go.
No pressure.
We're going to catch a crocodile or something.
My name is Ellie.
And my name is Ross.
Welcome to our podcast, In Real Life, where we dive deep into life, relationships, and real-world topics.
We promise laughter, tears, and jaw-dropping moments. Well, I don't want to promise it. But
So get ready, because this is what it means for us to live in real life.
thanks to our amazing partners, Hivita, we've made a real difference with these 3 episodes, Ellie.
We sure did, Ross. Through Hivita's support, the Hope and Tony Saba Foundation, and the Happy Saba Group, we have been able to make a massive donation to wildlife warriors. But the Irwins, of course, had to earn it.
Yeah, you'll see like in the last 10 minutes with the Fast 5 questions. But Hivita is 100% Aussie-owned and produced.
They are an Australian leader in natural single herbs. There's nothing synthetic.
Available in easy-to-swallow vegan capsules, packaged in glass, best for people and the planet, of course.
So if you're looking to make a change, to feel better, to do good, Hivita is your go-to.
Prioritize you with Hivita and be a part of something bigger.
Available exclusively at Chemist Warehouse. Hey guys, welcome back to In Real Life with Ross, Ellie, and Daisy is not here. If you're
No,
watching,
she's not.
you can see that we're not in the studio today. We're at Australia Zoo and we're sitting down with the man, the myth, the legend, the incredible, iconic Robert Irwin.
Hey, g'day. It's so good to talk to you guys.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for coming up to the zoo.
Oh, we love
Of
it. It's like our
course.
second home.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's the
truly.
Disneyland of Australia.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Well,
And-
you know, he asked me to marry him at Australia Zoo. You were there. Your
yeah.
mum
This
was
is
there.
where it
Chandler
all
was there.
happened.
Yeah.
I remember that very well. We still talk about that to this day so often.
Yeah.
That was one of the most nervous moments of my entire life. And I had nothing to
You're
do with it,
open.
but I was like, I knew the intel.
Yeah,
So I'm like,
yeah.
don't say anything,
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
say anything,
Yeah.
don't say anything. Oh, so much pressure. But it was a beautiful moment.
I did hear
It
you were
was.
very nervous to let it slip. You were just like, I'm
Yeah.
just not going to say anything. So I was like, why is Robert so quiet today?
I've,
About the only time I've ever been quiet.
Yeah, I was like, why is he so silent?
I've never seen when Ellie's looking at the screen and you're looking the other way. I've never seen someone say so much without saying anything.
Yeah.
When you're like,
That was when I was like, I saw your face and I was just like, what is
what's
going
going
on?
on?
And there's old mate coming out in a full puff of smoke, just like, I'm here.
Me.
Will you marry me? And fumbled.
Oh, that was
Well,
amazing. That
Thank
was
you so
amazing.
much for sitting down and joining us.
Yeah.
In real
anytime.
life is what it means to live in real life.
Yeah.
You've got this huge personality, this huge profile, but you're a man as well.
Yeah.
You're a human.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
a bloke from Beerwah, you know? That's me. So, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
we've known you for 13 years.
Yeah.
Just over 13 years, I would
Holy
say.
moly.
Long time.
You've seen many eras of Robert.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
hair bowl cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Sorry
was,
about
that
that.
was when we
Oh.
met, and the awkward air hug when we would
Oh,
like say hi to you. You're always
Yes.
like,
yes.
I don't
Oh,
want to get
yeah.
too close to you, lady.
Yes.
The most respectful floating hands.
Yeah.
Just so lovely.
That is the best.
But we've known you a really long time.
Yes. Yes.
So thanks for sitting down and having a chat with us and
Oh,
what it
you-
means for you to live in real life.
Totally. You guys are like family to us, honestly. So thank you for
We've
having
had-
me.
No, it's
Seriously.
always a pleasure being up there.
It's our honour.
Yeah.
But I would love to know and start this off with our first question.
Straight into it, Ellie.
Yeah, straight into
Straight
it.
Let's
into
go.
it.
Let's
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
What is and has been the most difficult part of growing up in the public eye?
Yeah.
You were born on camera.
Yeah.
Your whole birth was on camera.
Like literally.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
Sorry,
actually
Mum.
one of the
Yeah.
it's one of the most beautiful videos I've actually ever seen, and it makes me so emotional still to this day watching it.
Yeah.
But how did you learn to navigate the challenges and the expectations that come with being someone who is so well known? Your family, you're
Yeah.
basically Australian royalty.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. Thank you. Well, you know, I think, first of all, that video that you're referencing, I love that part of my life, you know, the first part of my life is captured on camera.
Yeah.
And everything for me growing up has been documented. And, you know, growing up experiencing loss at a very young age, that made me just feel incredibly grateful that I've got so much of my life documented. But of course, as you say, you know, the flip side of that is a lot of challenges. It comes with a lot of challenges. And, you know, for me, I was born into it. I have never known anything different.
Yeah.
And I can definitely imagine, I have friends of mine that have found that level of whatever you want to call it, fame or whatever. I don't consider myself famous. I don't consider
You
myself
definitely
a
are.
celebrity.
Yeah,
I
You definitely
you
are.
definitely are, Robert.
Yeah.
You were hanging out with Prince
Dang it, I'm
William.
I'm trying to be humble.
I'm trying to.
No, brag away.
Anyway, I'm kind of a big deal. No, I'm kidding. A bit of Ron Burgundy there. No, not at all. I have honestly thought of myself as a teacher, as someone who has a mission behind what I do. My sister's always been the same. But yeah, being born into that, it is weird going into pretty much any setting, whether I'm in the grocery store or I'm doing an interview or whatever it is. Everyone I talk to pretty much knows everything about me.
Yeah.
And that is a strange thing. Like
Yeah.
it can be odd. Sometimes it's a little bit like perplexing. Like the grocery store paparazzi. That I don't understand.
Yeah.
You go to the grocery store, you get your food. The next time you go to the grocery store, you're walking past the like tabloid magazine section and you look and go, oh, there's me on the front cover at the grocery store last time I was here. And it's like, and he bought a head of lettuce and some cabbage and, you know, wow, he's really healthy. And I'm like, okay, that's good. You know, but it's strange. And sometimes it can be really, really odd. And the milestones of life, sometimes it places that magnifying glass on it.
Yeah.
And there's a level of pressure there. And that's when having good people around you and family around you, family and friends. Family doesn't necessarily have to be blood related, you know.
Yeah.
Having that core group around you is so incredibly important. It keeps you grounded, but it also keeps your head on the straight and narrow, you know, because it's easy to get mired down in negative comments and it's easy to get a little bit up in the air with all the positive ones, you know.
Yeah.
So
There's more
keep
positive
that level-
comments about your TikTok than I've seen
Definitely.
negative, Robert.
But it's strange. But hey, if there's paparazzi at the grocery store, I know people are listening to my message. So if I'm talking about conservation, I know that there's an audience out there listening. I don't want to throw that away. You know, I want every young person out there to be able to hear my voice and go, okay, there's a fellow Gen Z. It's going out, getting it done and trying to do right by the world. Maybe I can do the same thing, you know?
Yeah.
So you say your voice. Obviously, you're Steve's son.
Yeah.
And, you know, is it challenging in some ways being compared to your dad? Obviously, it would be an honor and a privilege every day, but also you are your own man as well.
Yes.
And how do you navigate that? I mean,
Yeah, it's a complex
you're a
thing,
young
isn't
dude
it?
as well,
Yeah.
and you manage it so well.
Thank you. And it can be challenging. It's like, it's that thing where they say, you know, in some instances, comparison is the thief of joy. And when you try to compare yourself to anything, to other people you see on social media or, you know, in the public eye or peers or whatever it is, you know, that it can muddy the waters. You know, you have to just be true to your authentic self. But I will say, when people draw that comparison to dad, it's the greatest compliment I
would
can
imagine.
receive.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, he is and always will be my hero, my superhero. Like growing up from a tiny, tiny little knee high to a grasshopper, little Robert, I was just
I love that
wanted to
term
be
that you
knee high to a
use.
grasshopper. I always use that term. I just wanted to be exactly like him, you know?
Yeah.
And then as I grew up, I realized, you know, I can be my own person while still continuing his legacy.
Yeah.
There'll never be another Steve Irwin.
Yeah.
No one will ever come close to that sense of just living.
Yeah.
Just truly, he exemplified what it is to be real life, you know, to be that real, true, authentically you. And I draw so much inspiration from that. I feel like I still learn from him every day. You know, when I was learning to feed crocodiles, I'd watch the old documentaries of him in there feeding aggro. And that's what I was doing. That's why I was running late to this podcast, is I was in there feeding aggro. So, you know, I get to do what he did. And there's those obvious, like, comparisons. And I'll often get that from my family and people that were close to dad. I'll do something and inadvertently, you know, I'm just being me. And they'll go, whoa, that was really spooky. You sounded exactly like your dad just then. And I go, oh, really? Okay, yeah. So that I take that as such a badge of honor. You know, I want to be my own person, definitely. But I want to keep that legacy that he had. I want to keep that alive. We need that spirit these days more than ever before.
Yeah.
So it's important to me. But you know, I want to be Robert Irwin. You know, that's who I want to be. And I see myself as, you know, the person who can continue Dad's spirit and legacy, as we do as a family.
So, on the Robert Irwin story,
Yeah.
the dating world.
Oh, mate.
You get, I think that's probably the biggest question you ever get asked on media at the moment, especially when you're doing a lot of TV stuff.
Yeah.
Do you find, and you're Robert Irwin, you can't go on Tinder, you can't go on dating websites, because that profile will be taken down quick smart for being
I'm actually a real person.
I
I'm
swear
real.
it's actually me. I'm not catfishing anyone.
But I mean, like, you can't really date like that. You can't go to a bar, and you're not even 21 years old. You can't just go out and meet someone. It's a very, very different life for you. But what's it like trying to find love as Robert Irwin?
It's bloody hard. Like, seriously, it's not easy.
Yeah.
Like, and it's hard at the best of times. You know, like, I often talk about it with my family. You know, I always look at Bindi and I'm like, you found Chandler when you're like 15. You lucky, like, I don't know how she did that, but she managed it so young. And I'm like, it's my turn, surely. I mean, sure. But I'm not in any rush to find that. I'm just going to let it happen when it happens to find the perfect person. But, you know, it is really challenging. As you say, like, if I just went into a pub, you know, like, I don't think I'd ever get out. It would be insane. And it's like, the dating world is challenging at the best of times, but it's also hard. You know, I know for me, if I am like going out, I'm looking at the table next to me, watching people on their phones, just doing the sneaky little, and then it ends up little video, and I'm like, okay, that's going to be on TikTok tomorrow morning. So it is also hard knowing that, and I like to keep that aspect of my life as much as I can pretty private. And
stop hassling him, Ellie. Leave him alone.
No, that's not what I'm saying. You guys are different. I want to have I like to have a little goss sesh with you guys, you know.
The funniest story, the Steve Irwin Gala. 3 years ago.
Oh my
You just turned 18.
I know the story you're going to tell.
Your cover for Stella magazine came out. You looked like Clint Eastwood's son. What's his name?
Oh my gosh,
Scott Eastwood.
Scott, yes,
You look like Scott Eastwood
I'll
from
take that.
Wildest Dreams, Taylor Swift music video.
I'll take that.
And the musician was like, okay, everyone, like, let's get up and dance. And no one got up and danced. And you literally got up and you were like, okay, well, I'm just going to get up and dance. Every single eligible girl in the building. There was 1,000 people at the gala.
We got to watch it from a distance.
Every single side of the gala just came flocking to you.
There were girls' parents pushing the girls up. Go and meet him. Go and meet him.
And then there's a line, and it's Robert, and then a line of women. And I remember filming it and putting on my stories and being like, "This is so great."
I remember
Robert's
coming back.
Message will reach so many Gen Zers now.
Exactly. What a win. What a win for conservation. It was so funny. I remember coming back to my table and I remember you guys messaged me and I was like, okay. Because I didn't really notice it. Like, I'm hopeless. I'm not very, like, I don't know. I'm not exactly a player, you know, my mom will be like, or my sister or my friends, I'll be out and they'll be like, oh, wow, you know, that she seemed real. And I'm like, oh, you reckon? I don't know. You know, like I'm kind of oblivious to it all, but it's very flattering. I mean, I'll take it. It's really kind. But it is really hard. Like, but I look at, there are people in my life I look at, like I look at my parents, I look at Bindi and Chandler, I look at you guys and I'm like, okay, there is hope. It will happen.
It will.
Just show yourself. Come on. Like she can hurry up and get here, can she?
And you can't rush that.
But I also feel like you've had such a great representation of love. Your parents, your sister with Chandler. Like, what are some of the actual qualities that you would love to see in the person that is your person?
Yeah, and it's something I think about a lot. As you say, like, I definitely draw inspiration. I look at mum and dad and I just think, wow, there's two people that were truly meant to be. Because the way they found each other was just like such a fluke, like an absolute fluke. This you know, guy from Biwa, you know, this little reptile park in the middle of nowhere, and a lady traveling from Eugene, Oregon. Like, what? How on earth would that ever happen? But then it happened, and it was just like there it is. It's like the pieces of the puzzle just fit, and
Yeah.
they created, I mean, an empire of conservation, this incredible family, all of this. And I think, you know, for me, I get to continue this, and this world is so important to me. And the life I live is very uncommon. Like, I am here and there and everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm just chronically spontaneous. I'm terrible for it. I think it's the Irwin genes. Like, I'm just like, and now we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. So, you know, when I find someone, she's gonna have to be ready to go. You know, definitely really ready to go. But I just think, you know, that kindness and compassion is everything in life. My dad always used to say, treat every living being the way you would wish to be treated. Not just people, but animals and everything you come into contact with. So,
and you do live by that.
I live by that.
When
truly.
we meet people, they're like, what are the Irwins actually really like? And we're like, what you see is what you get.
But
that
better.
is who they
It is
are.
so-
Thank you.
And they are
you.
literally the best family. Like,
Thank
we
you.
rave
real
about
people.
you guys.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
likewise.
So- and-
So that's what I'm looking for. It's just that
Yeah.
that kindness and that and doesn't mind jumping on crocodiles. That's also,
I think
you know,
that'd have to be
that's
a
part of
must.
it as well. Yeah, yeah.
Let's go.
so-
Okay.
looking forward to seeing those puzzles fall into place for you.
Yeah. I know it will.
And if you need someone to, like, you know, grill someone or, you know, check them out, then
Yep.
they can be like, check this, check
Yeah,
out.
I'm
They're all good.
The other big sister
Okay.
other than Bindi, because
Yeah,
Bindi's
good,
like,
good,
you know,
good.
and your mum, of
Yep,
course.
yep. You and Bindi can
But
just
I'll be
suss them
like,
out first.
I'm like the FBI girl. I'm like,
okay, yeah, good.
But you do live a crazy life. You are here, there, and everywhere. The other week you were, you know, with Prince William. And I'm sure the week before that you were some other royalty and an actor and a celebrity and a business person.
Yeah.
Have you ever had imposter syndrome? Have you ever got into a room and just thought, mate, what am I doing here?
Yes. You have no idea. Every single day. I mean, absolutely. You know, when I was in Cape Town and we were doing this thing with the Earthshot Prize, which is Prince William's conservation initiative, amazing. By the way, he's an incredible guy. Like, he is such a dedicated conservationist, one of the most down-to-earth people you'll meet. Like, you forget instantly, you know, the magnitude of who he is in his presence. When you're around him, you just go, oh, he's just this amazing regular guy who cares so deeply about the environment. So anyway, I could go on and on about that. But when I was in Cape Town, I was moderating a discussion with these two amazing youth climate change leaders. And it was actually an entire segment in this discussion, which was about imposter syndrome, because it was a room full of about 150 other incredible young African voices who are standing up for climate change. And we talked about that. And it was really interesting because the incredible person I was with, it was just amazing. She goes, everyone close your eyes and I want to ask you a question. Who in this room, half the room, these amazing youth leaders, the other half, dignitaries from around the world, really big deal people. I'm talking like in business, in e-commerce, in politics. She goes, everyone close your eyes. Put your hand up if you've ever experienced imposter syndrome. If you've ever been in a room and felt like you didn't belong. Open your eyes. Every single hand is up. From, you know, the 16-year-old sitting over there to the 50-year-old businessman to everyone. Everyone feels that at some point in your life.
Yeah.
And it's about, particularly for young people, you need to recognize your voice. Your voice really, truly matters. And that's something I really try and stress with the youth of the world. Some of the issues that we face politically, environmentally, it's so easy to just bury your head in the sand and think it's all too big. When you enter a decision-making room, it's so easy to feel like, well, this is beyond me. But you have to go, you know what? This is the world that I'm inheriting. I'm the next generation to make a difference here. I need to stand up. I need to make my voice heard. And you have to sort of channel that sense of unsure, of imposter syndrome, and just try and go, you know what? It's all right to have a little bit of fear, a little bit of butterflies. It's how you respond to fear that makes you courageous.
Yeah.
Whether or not you're afraid doesn't mean anything. You're always going to be afraid.
Yeah.
How do you respond to it? That is what makes you courageous. So when I'm in a room, I am often like, whoa, what am I doing here? Like when I was meeting Prince William, I'm like, just standing in the shade of this tree. We were like on a hike and I'm like meeting him halfway on this hike. And I'm just standing there and I'm like, okay, so I'm just like waiting for Prince William to arrive. Like, all right.
I don't know what to do with
And
my
it's
hands.
literally, so his whole security detail comes up and like all the press come up and I'm just like, hey mate. And I'm
you
like,
going?
dang it, I just said, hey mate. Oh no, I just said, hey mate. I'm like, hey, mate, highness, mate. What? Like, it was bad. It was bad. And I'm like, oh no. But it was fine. I survived. Oh yeah. I was just like a lobster standing there. But to make a short story long, yes, I do. But you're never not going to experience that. You just got to go, you got to find that little spark within yourself and go, nah, I'm supposed to be here.
Yeah.
I'm here for a reason.
Yeah.
There's a reason I'm in this room. I didn't just fall in here. Like I'm here for a reason.
I've earned it.
You know, I've earned it.
And you have earned.
Yeah. And it's important to do that. And you know, I get to hopefully, you know, use this sort of this voice, this message to go, yeah, it doesn't matter what level you're at, you're always going to feel it, and it's okay.
Yeah.
It's all right. Like at any age.
That's very true.
Do you ever get that? Do you ever feel that?
Yeah,
like, do
all
you
the
ever
time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, it's not just me.
I've
Okay,
been in
good.
rooms with people that I'm like,
Yeah.
what am I doing here? I'm like, this girl from Brisbane, Australia, used to literally grew up around
Yeah, I
like
think that-
horses and kangas and just like that's not
Yeah.
me.
But yeah, you just got to go, nah, I've earned it, you know? This is-
Yeah.
I'm a star.
Yeah. I'm a shine.
Watch me shine.
Yeah, exactly.
So on Gen Z,
I feel so good about myself right now.
what's a piece of conservation advice that you would really love to share with this next generation?
Yeah. That's a great question. You know, like I sort of touched on it before, but I think before you can really start, you know, bogging down and combating these really big issues that we face, you know, the first step is realizing your own potential and your own voice and your own ability to make change, and to realize that there's so many tools at our dispensal here. Like, you know, we are this generation where we're so incredibly connected. You know, for better or for worse, social media is part of our lives.
Yeah.
You know, we have ways in which, you know, we can literally connect with a global platform instantaneously. And if you have a passion for the environment, which I think so many young people have, there's now more than ever so many avenues to get your voice heard, whether that's just your peers or your family or friends, or you start building up that platform. Use the tools in your tool belt for good. You know, use social media as positively as you possibly can. You know, things like that. You know, we have a conservation initiative called Visionary Wildlife Warriors, which is part of the Wildlife Warriors charity, which is just for kids. You know, we see it every year at the gala when we award a Visionary Wildlife Warrior of the Year. This year it was Winnie, she was
so cute.
I think she's only like 8. I think she's 8, and she's raised thousands for wildlife conservation. She's a leader amongst her peers, and she's 8 years old.
That's incredible.
Like, that is the coolest thing. So there are ways, absolutely, to contribute to what you're passionate about, but it just starts with realizing you do have the ability to make change. Doesn't matter where you're from.
Yeah.
My whole life and legacy that I create, and the legacy I continue, it all started from a young fella who moved up from Victoria, came to Biwa, population, you know, it was in the hundreds, I think, back then, barely anyone, started up a 2-acre reptile park, and went on to become probably one of the most influential voices in history. And that's Dad, you know, so you can do it.
So on your dad.
Yeah.
If you could have one night with your dad at the Steve Irwin Reserve.
Oh,
just you and him.
Just you and him.
Just you and him.
What do you think, like, what would you say to him? What would you do? Like,
I'd give anything for that. Hey, like, I think the longer you live, the more you realize, like, that's all you've got in life is the people you love. And I actually, you mentioned the Steve Irwin Wildlife Reserve. It's such an incredible place, and it's a place that he loves so much. I think about that often. You know, I love fire staring. Like, I love just building a fire and just sitting and looking. And I think about just wishing so much he was there. I think, I don't think he'd get a word in. I think I'd just be asking so many questions. I'd just be like, what about this? What about that? What about this? Just about life, just about growing up. And you know, it's hard, like, growing up, reaching these milestones as a young bloke at the best of times, let alone without a father figure. It's hard to navigate. Yeah. I think I would just be a bundle of questions.
If you had a chance to ask him one thing, what would you ask him?
Oh,
That's
man.
a really tough on.
That's a
I
real
know.
no. I really like it. I think I would.
That's a tough
That's
question.
a tough one. I'm
Because
gonna have to think about
Ellie
that.
and I mean, we just did some episode on losing our dads, and we both posed the question to each other. Ellie had questions she wanted to ask her dad. I just said I wanted to sit in silence.
Yeah.
And just be with him. It was totally different, but
Yeah,
that's
it's
a hard
funny,
question.
isn't it?
You know,
It's a tough
there-
question. I don't think I could
couldn't be
pin down to one.
Yeah.
I don't know. How you going?
Well, that's a really good open-ended because then the conversation starts.
That's you. But
What
like,
do you reckon?
what do you reckon? Like, what's up? I don't know. Like, to be honest, that's probably what I would say. You know, because everyone asks so many questions about this, that, and the other thing. But I think the most important question to ask is just like, how are you? How you feeling? Like, how's life? You know, and I think like, I don't know. I would really want to know and ask how he navigated the turning 21. You know what I mean? How he navigated the milestones in life. Because I think I look at what Dad did throughout his life and the way he lived his life, the way he led with just such a sense of this leadership, this loyalty, these family qualities that he had. I would just ask him like, how did you do it? How did you do this? Why did you make this decision? How did you how did you hone your passion into, what it has become today? There's so many things I'd want to ask him. But I'd give anything to have that conversation.
It'd be a fly on a wall to see you guys have that conversation. It would just be a beautiful experience.
I often think about imagine being a fly on the wall, just going back in time and like imagine being completely anonymous and just walking into Australia Zoo when it was the Queensland Reptile and Fauna Park in the 80s with Dad with his mullet in there feeding the crocs, Mum with her perm doing the mowing of the croc habitat and just walking in and just sitting back and just watching.
Yeah.
I would give the world to do that.
Moment in history.
Speaking of giving,
you
know Michael and Jasmine Saba from the Saba Group.
Of course.
So they heard that we were going to do this episode with you guys, and they've actually said, how about you guys have a bit of fun? Like, of course we're going to have fun.
Yeah. Well,
but they said, why don't you fire off a few questions, and for every question they get right, we'll donate $1,000 to Wildlife Warriors.
Wow. Yeah.
So we've got 5 questions for you.
incredible.
We've got 5 questions for your sister and Chandler, and we've got 5 questions for your mum. So
We
15
made them
grand.
really, really hard.
They're tough questions, but they're fast fire.
know,
They're fast fire questions.
Fast.
So-
Okay.
And
that.
look,
I'm thinking
we're
speed.
we're not here just to give away money to charity. This is going to be tough. So,
Okay.
So no pressure.
Okay,
no
I'm
Googling
ready.
under the table.
All right. No, I have no phone.
Okay.
I promise.
Okay, first question. When is Bindy's birthday?
24th of July.
That was a tough one.
Boom.
How much?
There's a koala saying right there.
$1,000.
There's a little baby bird
You
that's
get
going back into the wild.
$1,000.
Speaking of koalas, how much on average does it cost to treat a koala at the hospital? On average, it can range from.
There's a lot, but we're going to have to answer a lot more correct questions because it's over $7,000 on average.
Boom.
Sometimes, as you say, sometimes more. We've had koalas in for 16, 17 months before.
Yeah.
So tens of thousands, but it averages around 7,000 to 7,500.
So basically it's like only Daisy. Taking her to the bed.
Jeez.
Okay, here's a really tough question for you.
Okay.
And if you
Tough.
don't remember this, you're going to be in
They're
trouble.
all tough.
Okay. Oh.
What is Prince William's favorite African animal?
Oh, he told me. It's really fast.
This is on your Instagram.
Cheetah.
Yes.
It's a cheetah.
Good memory.
No hints.
Good
nothing.
memory.
Yeah. I had that one in the back. Yeah.
All right, there's got to be a question about crocs, right? So
Yeah.
crocodiles have been
Okay.
around for about 2.4 million years, 24 million years, or over 240 million years.
Over 240.
Nailed it.
Boom.
Nailed
If
it.
I get a crocodile question wrong, I'm out of a
We
job.
would have edited it,
Yeah.
reshot it. Don't worry.
Just dub the correct answer
Yeah.
over.
240.
Okay, so I don't want to restart a sibling rivalry war again.
Uh-oh.
But who has won more industry awards, you or Bindi?
Oh, I wish I could say me, but it's definitely not me.
Correct.
It's definitely Bindi.
I feel like this year it's going to be.
I was so close.
It'll be close now.
I almost had her with the Logies.
Yeah.
Larry Emder swooped in. No, it's all right.
Yeah.
He deserved that.
Yeah,
We'll get him next year.
Yeah, next year.
Well, $5,000 going to Wildlife Warriors.
Boom!
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like that. Well,
You did it. Great
thank
job.
you,
Yeah.
Michael Jasmine. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Legends,
that's amazing.
hey.
Definitely.
And you are a legend as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
We
you so
love
much
you.
for your friendship. Personally, selfishly, thank you for your friendship. But
Yeah.
Absolutely.
for the rest of the world, and we're definitely talking on behalf of the world, thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
Honestly,
Hey,
a legend.
Thank
Yeah.
you guys. Like it's not often you get a chance to have like a really proper deep conversation, and it takes something really special and a really special conversation to make me stop and go, hang on a minute, I've never thought about that. So I really,
Sorry to put you on
truly,
the
no, I appreciate that so much. Like so much. You guys, as I say, you truly are like family to us, and we love you dearly. So thank you.
We love
Thanks,
you.
man.
Thank you for joining
Good
us.
on ya.
Thanks, guys, for listening.
Thank you
It's
for
been
listening.
an absolute pleasure for having you today, Robert.
Now go out there and save the world.
Yeah, let's go.
Pressure.
We're gonna catch a crocodile or something.
Love you guys.
Thanks, Ed.
Mwah.
Peace.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to In Real Life. If you enjoyed this episode, we'd love for you to subscribe on Spotify and connect with us on Instagram at IRL with us. And remember, life isn't about meeting other people's expectations. It's about living it on your terms and meeting your own expectations. So go out there and live in real life. We'll see you next time.